Picture this. You're deep underground in a secret chamber in ancient India. You step on a loose floor tile and suddenly a towering statue grinds to life, its eyes glowing as it raises a massive sword. For this explainer, we're going to investigate a legend, a story of ancient automata that might just be the world's very first security robots.
So where does this story even come from? Well, it all starts right after the death of the Buddha. His most sacred relics needed to be protected, right? They needed a guardian worthy of their incredible power. And, well, this was definitely not a job for a mere human.
To protect these priceless relics, a king named Ajatashatru was said to have used guards with this absolutely terrifying name, a name that hints at something, well, something beyond the natural world. That's right, these weren't men, they were machines. And according to the legend, they were literally powered by spirits, standing perfectly motionless until an intruder dared to enter the secret space.
The ancient account describes this incredibly advanced defense system. And get this, it was built in a hidden chamber, using classified blueprints that were smuggled from a land of master engineers. When they were triggered, these machines would just unleash a flurry of deadly sword strikes. So this begs the question, doesn't it? Are we just talking about a myth here? You know, a scary story told to keep people away? Or could this legend actually be describing a real feat of ancient engineering? A true forerunner to the modern robot? Okay, let's try and tackle the biggest question first. I mean, without electricity or steam power, how on earth could these things move with so much force? Well, the answer likely lies in the ancient science of kinematics. Just think of it like a giant coiled spring ready to snap. You see, when modern engineers look at this legend, they don't see magic, not at all. They see a brilliant application of stored and then released mechanical energy. So the power core was likely a very sophisticated clockwork engine. I want you to imagine high-tension springs, the kind used to power Roman siege weapons, and imagine them wound incredibly tight. Now connect them to a complex train of interlocking gears. You'd be storing a colossal amount of potential energy, just waiting to be unleashed. And this analogy really captures the concept perfectly. You've got this elegant, patient mechanism just storing immense power, ready to strike in an absolute instant. All right, so a powerful machine is one thing. But how did these ancient guards know when to attack? They needed a brain. The brain was probably a masterpiece of mechanical logic. The floor itself was the sensor. An intruder steps on a rigged plate, and that physical pressure acts just like a switch. It pulls a pin that's holding back all that pent-up energy. And the result? Instant, violent motion. What you're looking at here is basically a physical, analog version of the if-then commands that are the foundation of all modern computer programming. If there's pressure, then attack. It's a simple but deadly piece of code written in stone and metal. But there's one more piece to this whole puzzle. The legends say these machines moved with a smooth, almost lifelike power. Now, a clunky clockwork machine might be kind of jerky, but these were described as something else entirely. So how did they achieve that? The secret? It was likely fluid dynamics. Ancient engineers were masters of hydraulics, just like the systems that power modern construction equipment. By channeling pressurized water or air through a network of internal pipes and valves, they could use pistons to drive the limbs. This would provide the immense yet smooth torque needed to swing a heavy metal sword with terrifying force and precision. So, when we put all of these pieces together, the power, the brain, and the muscle, the picture becomes incredibly clear. This wasn't a story about spirits or sorcery at all. Nope. It was a story about masterful engineering. The Bhuta Vahana Yantra were a brilliant combination of three distinct, powerful technologies, all known to the ancient world, all woven together to create something truly revolutionary. So this wasn't just a single clever machine, you see. It was a complete self-operating system designed to protect a location without any human intervention. It could identify a threat, it could make a decision, and it could act on it. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. If these killer robots were real, what other myths and legends from our past aren't fairy tales at all? What if they're actually fragmented stories of forgotten, high-level technology, just waiting there for us to re-examine the evidence?